Hare Krishna, Dandot Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandot Pranam
Hare
Prabhu,
Krishna.
Nam Guru Shiva Prabhu, Gurudev.
Oh, that's okay. So many devotees from Omaha.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandot Pranam, All Good Shri Prabhupada and Gurudev.
Dandot Pranam, all Guru Shri Prabhupada and Gurudev. We started our Bhaktisastri in August 2015.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all good Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev.
Since then, they're like going on every week.
Yes. Om Jnanatinirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurandhilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swadantyam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Chaitanya Shri Guru Vaishnava Shri Rupa Sagarata Sagara Raghunatham Tam Sajivam Sadhvaitam Savadhutam Parinamanasayatam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sarvadharika Shri Vishakhavitamscha Namo Vishnupadaya Vishnaveshaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pachanike Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Desharide Vanchakalpataru Yasya Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratushe Namatvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhaktashaktikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabho Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Taptakam Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamani Hare Priye. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, so we are reading from the Nectar of Devotion, which is the summary study of the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu by Srila. This summary study has been given to us by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So we are on page 10.
Page 10,
Page
Happiness
10.
in Krishna Consciousness.
Happiness in Krishna consciousness. So all right. So just to summarize, this is the first wave of the Nectar of Devotion. The first wave is very, very important for devotees because it explains about devotional service, the basic qualities of sadhana bhakti. It was devotional service and attachment, and then devotional service also following the footsteps of the other devotees who have developed love for Krishna. So there are many interesting facts that will be revealed to us as we read this first wave of the Vector of Devotion. Remember that Rupa Goswami said that this is like an ocean and all these sadhakas are like divers who go deep into this ocean and look for pearls and jewels at the bottom of the ocean. So that is what Nectar of Devotion is about. So happiness in Krishna consciousness. Who wants to be happy in Krishna consciousness? Everyone wants to be happy in Krishna consciousness. Then why are we reading this? To understand how to be happy in Krishna consciousness.
We tells about something.
It tells about something,
Something
how to be happy. Okay. So Srila Rupa Goswami has analyzed the different sources of happiness. So Rupa Goswami is like a teacher, or he is like an explorer, or he is like a very intelligent merchant who is understanding or who has understood his merchandise. And now he is offering that to all of us. That according to our tastes, we may try and accept what is interesting to us. So different sources of happiness. And obviously it will be explained by him in a few points. What do you think is the different ways that one can be happy? Some ways that you think you can be happy.
having sufficient money.
Having sufficient money, isn't that important? Why?
So that we have money to spend.
So that we have money to spend. Spend on what?
And, food, shelter,
Food, shelter,
taking care of
things like that.
family, healthcare.
Healthcare, food, shelter, healthcare. Yes.
Having wonderful relationships
Having wonderful relationships with whom?
with family, friends.
With family and friends.
conversation,
Yes.
conversations.
Children keeping good health and children doing well.
Keeping good health and children doing well. That's also a way that one can be happy. Tanya Mataji, would you like to explain that a little more? How is keeping good health and the children doing well?
Because Prabhuji, keeping good health means that you're able to do, you can function, do your job,
Keeping good
earn
health.
money, take care, serve, or anything that you need to do requires good health. If you don't have health, you cannot do what you would like to do. And
Okay. Yes,
And I think the most important thing for a parent is for the children to do well, keep
Yes.
good health, do well. In fact, every parent wants their child to do better than them. So if your children don't do well, then the parents can be very disillusioned. But if your children are doing well, even if you are not doing well, it makes up for a lot of lot of shortcoming that you would have had is fulfilled through your children. So a child doing well, keeping good health, doing well in life is so almost the dream of every parent or desire of every parent.
so dream of every parent is to see that child doing well, because when you see them doing well, you can relate to how their achievements makes up for what we could not achieve or we could not have. So they at least feel happy having that. That's a good point. So we have money to spend on basic requirements. That is what at least Mali Prabhu feels and Mani Prabhu feels. Basic requirements. And Gokul Priya Mataji, relationships are important with family, with friends. And an important point that if the children are happy, then the parents, as a parent, you feel happy, or if the children are secure, then as a parent, you feel that your responsibilities are kind of done. and also good health. Good health is needed to work, it is needed to interact with people. So it would be very nice to have good health, and that could lead us to happiness. Um, okay, for the time being, we'll try and consider these 3 points. Basic requirements. As humans, we definitely need to work hard and earn money to have our basic requirements. The human species just, 5%, I guess, of the total number of species that are there, according to the Padma Puran. Yeah,
Yeah.
4 out of
400.
84 lakhs. That is like
400,000 out of 8 lakhs.
8,400,000, which is kind of 6 or 7%, I guess. Less than 10%.
It's about 5.
About 5%, a little above 5, isn't it? About 6. 100 is 5, 84, 4, round about that. None of the other species seem to be earning money.
Yeah.
They work hard. And they, whatever are the basic needs, they try to achieve through their sheer hard work. But the human species seems to be dependent on their work manifesting as some wealth. So maybe that is a social custom that we have adopted. Now just imagine a society which does not function on money. And much of your social security and your healthcare things in barter system. And that's how nature works. A rose plant needs to grow, so it depends on the bees. The bees have to have that nectar, so they go to flowers. Pollination takes place, so there is kind of barter system. Barter system is always, there is an understanding that we need to protect each other. We depend on each other. But when in the human society, we remove this dependency in terms of, if I have sufficient money, then people will be forced, or commodities will be available to me. That is where becomes the idea of lordship, lording it over others becomes very strong. Yeah. So, trying to fulfill our basic needs, we may want to understand that it is more of how we give and take others that can give us happiness, rather than just earn money, rather than just have power, controlling power. Yes, unfortunately, that is a deep-rooted concept when we think that money is important. Yeah. Like in India, last year in November, there was a big shock for everyone. Demonetization.
Yeah. All the money will become invalid.
So your money has some value, but to have access to it, the means were gone. And unfortunately, many of the people, because they had accumulated money by society, the norms of society, that money was useless. So they were very unhappy. They were very distressed. Now think about where you just have, let's say you're a farmer, or you're a merchant, or you're a brahmana. You just give knowledge. So every day you work hard, and it's like daily wages, or it could be monthly wages, or it could be a yearly wage. So you work hard and you subsist on whatever daily wages in terms of grains you get, monthly wages in terms of your the cloth. You need some shelter, you need something to put on your body. So that can come as monthly wage or a yearly wage. So there, everything has, it kind of has an infinite importance. Like here, you feel that, or the present generation may feel that a toothpaste should be used only till the time it's easy to squeeze out the paste. After that, why spend energy trying to really dig out the paste, or open up the container and like scrape it out? So it has a finite use, kind of, where there is the idea that everything has utility. One generation can wear their clothes and it still can be used by the next generation. One generation can use their books and still can be used by the next generation. Today, we don't even share laptops. So the use and throw philosophy that is there, or does this, what is it called?
Upgrade cycles nowadays.
No. Anyways,
That
if I-
use, reuse, recycle.
यूज एंड थ्रो को क्या बोलते हैं? व्हाट इज यूज एंड थ्रो?
use and throw, there's
Disposable.
mentality.
और डिस्पोजेबल
Disposable. Okay, that's a good word. That mentality makes us more aware of our,
स्टैंड
it makes us more aware of our insecurities. And therefore we try to make more arrangements. We need more and more and more. It makes us more aware of a finite existence. Like, oh, 3 weeks are gone. Now I need to go and get my new toothpaste.
जो आपका फोन सीढ़ियों पे रखा है,
All right. So
मैंने ये डाइनिंग टेबल पे रख दिया.
money is definitely a source of happiness. Agreed. But how? Okay. Relationships are a source of happiness. And let us look at it from another point of view. Do the other species, they plan how to destroy the relationships? Have you ever seen one goat planning against another goat? Maybe they do. We have no idea. We have no idea. But is there some understanding? I have the scientists who study the behavior of animals. Have they found out such behavior in them? They may do out of protection, or they may do out of eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, for those purposes. But specifically just to control others, just to prove that I am the greatest. Not many species are involved in it. Yes. So the idea that relationships here are important because of family and friends is more based on I need them. Whereas in the other species, it is on need to do basis. Right now, if there's a relationship, all right, next, wherever it is necessary, they will try and adjust to that. But a human being would hang on to relationships. Yeah. This is the only relationship that I have, and I don't want things to change. How many of you all had, you were part of a group of friends in college, and those ideas are going to be together, and we will never leave each other. We are there for life. 20 years they are alive or dead. Right? So we come up with those all romantic concepts, and that is what has been romanticized, basically. So what is a relationship? A relationship is that which allows us to interact for our needs. Romanticizing that much more than necessary, that creates problems. Yes. Family, children. The idea is that they should have the happiness that we consider to be happiness for them. So many a times that they have to live our lives. But we may try to give them the independence to lead their lives. We try and do that. Unfortunately, it always is from the background of what we have experienced as happiness or unhappiness. So there has to be a healthy balance between letting them have their own experiences and leading our own lives. We should see how we do not, our circle of influence does not influence their circle of influence. Our interest does not influence their interest. So being protective and being overprotective, where we actually interfere with someone's conception of how to be happy, how to be secure, that is again another frailty of human life. Therefore, saas bahu ke jhagde, baap bete ke jhagde, all that is there. I mean, it is very rarely seen that a chicken mother-in-law is having, a hen, who's the mother-in-law is having a fight with her daughter-in-law hen. Doesn't happen. Have you seen that happening? I mean, they don't even understand this is my daughter-in-law.
Yeah. But for the chicken, we will understand.
No, you took. You came here. Don't worry about that.
Prabhuji is asking very late. I forgot about that person.
I'm not asking anything. I know I don't remember when I was a chicken or a hen or maybe a cock. So many births we have all taken and we have forgotten about it. Anyways, the idea is all the norms that are there for civil behavior in human society is meant for a higher purpose. It is not meant for the lower purpose of just what I as this. Now, with that background, let us see how Rupa Goswami analyzes. There are basically three levels of happiness or sources of happiness that is going to analyze. Okay. So, going further, he has divided happiness into three categories, which are happiness derived from material enjoyment.
Is that what we?
It seems like that because that is all we discussed. You see, get the point? All our conception is most probably just offering as a category. And that was also because we have not spoken of something that is a higher level of material enjoyment. We have lost touch with that. So this is known as Jadanand. Jada means material. Yeah, that which is unaffected by something sublime. It is so dull, it is so gross that it is not affected by sublime principles. That is Jadanand. So happiness that is derived from material enjoyment. Then the second is happiness derived by identifying oneself with the Supreme Brahman. We have no idea what that is. That there is happiness when one identifies oneself with the Supreme Brahman. Well, in the 1960s and 70s, they kind of thought that they understood that when they took on all those drugs, those eclectic experiences that people were having, because such eclectic experiences, they make you forget your identity as an individual being. They open up like a doorway, a connection to what is the universe. So then they would see themselves as being part of the universe, and they would see themselves as an insignificant being floating in the universe. Though that is a very gross misunderstanding of what is the second source of happiness. This is called as Brahman. So there is Jadanand, Brahman. And the third source of happiness is, that is there in the books. What is it? Anyone would like to read?
Happiness derived.
You don't have. So therefore, I pointed it out to you.
Do you want
Money.
happiness derived from Krishna?
Yes. So happiness derived from Krishna consciousness, which is what I think many of us are
achieve goal in
aspiring for, hopefully. Okay. So now there are certain quotations. In the Tantra Shastra, ever heard of the Tantra Shastra?
There is one like that.
Very interesting, isn't it? Actually, when we were training up our devotees in the Bhaktisastri exams, a very, very old devotee, old in terms of the number of years spent in Krishna consciousness, initiated devotee. And we said that there are 4 books that we are going to study during the Bhaktisastri exams, Bhagavad Gita, and he said, okay. Then we said, Nectar of Instruction. He was like, okay, maybe there are instructions in that book. And then we said, Shri Ishopanishad. Upanishad sounds familiar. And then we said, Nectar of Devotion. He's like, what is that book? What is that book, the Nectar of Devotion? I have no idea. So, even amongst very educated people, it's not easy to find those who are acquainted with scriptures. So there are the Bhakti Shastras, similarly there are Tantra Shastras. Okay? The name sounds very...
Are they related to devotion?
They are devoted, yes. Tantra Shastras are related to devotional practices. It's a very different and unique way of practicing devotion.
Like Nagabhava?
Sorry?
Like Nagabhava?
Black magic?
Not enough.
She thinking
Not
of
black
those
magic at
black
all.
Magic karo.
No.
Miss Gross.
Yeah. The word Tantra has become a misnomer right in today's time.
We think Tantra and Tantric as the same.
It's like thinking India and Indian are the same. Yes.
Indian company.
So in the Tantra Shastra, these are again descriptions given by many great personalities. There are instructions that were given by great teachers unto their students, and they have been compiled according to the mood and according to the practices that are there. Tantra Shastra. Tantra Shastras generally will have a lot of mechanical practices. It's very mechanical, very technical. Like some of the practices that we do in devotional service, so many times we should around. You'll find that also very predominantly in the Tantra Shastra. So please don't get confused that Tantra Shastra is something very dangerous. Sounds like. So in the Tantra Shastra, Lord Shiva speaks to his wife. Who is his wife? Whose wife? Lord Shiva's wife? Okay. Here she is Sati. So yes, this was really many centuries ago. Lord Shiva is speaking to his wife Sati. There are many instructions that which are today known as scriptures or shastras, where Lord Shiva is speaking to Parvati. Yes. Lord Shiva speaking to Sati. And for us it doesn't make much difference because Sati and Parvati are the same.
No, in reality they are different.
They are non-different from each other. They may not be the same. However, they are non-different from each other. Try and understand what is that. He speaks to his wife Sati in this way. My dear wife, a person who has surrendered himself at the lotus feet of Govinda and who has thus developed pure Krishna consciousness can be very easily awarded all the perfections desired by the impersonalists, and beyond this, he can enjoy the happiness achieved by the pure devotees. he or she. Yeah. Everyone can achieve. So, Lord Shiva is seemingly stating that if you practice devotional, all kinds of happiness. You get happiness that is derived from devotional practices and also happiness that is derived from impersonal realization. Any examples of how, while practicing devotional service, you also get happiness derived from impersonal realization? Any comments on that?
Because Bhagavan's realization includes.
No, practical examples. Here it is said that awarded all perfections reside by the impersonalists. Yes? Any practical examples of that? We have no idea what is the happiness derived by impersonalists, so how can we have practical examples?
Impersonal is someone who sees Krishna everywhere. Like,
Impersonalist is also somebody in Krishna's energy.
everywhere. And he also
Prabhuji, you get peace. Everybody
Sorry?
is peaceful.
Add a comment to offer?
Prabhuji, everybody will experience blissfulness and peace. That is something
Blissfulness and
common
peace.
to everybody.
Blissfulness and peace, isn't it? Have you ever experienced that? How many of you have been to Sadhu Sangha retreat? New Vrindavan. Been to New Vrindavan, festival time, and the first time you are there, you see so many devotees, you are like very happy. And then you go and see the sights in New Vrindavan, you see the cows. Have you seen the cows? And you are excited. And then you see the cliff and the mountains. And have you ever felt that, oh, let me just sit down here in the forest, overlooking a valley, and simply do nothing? No thoughts, no pictures, just be there and lose oneself. Practical. Have that experience? You forget who you are. You forget where you are. Just seeing the amazing sight in front of you, the mountains and the trees and the expanse. You're completely overwhelmed by that. And for the moment you feel very peaceful. For the moment you feel really free. Yeah. And then you remember that, oh, I have to take a picture and send it on Facebook. But here I am against that background. But for the moment you feel that. So that is one of the achievements of impersonal realization. You completely forget your identity and you forget the identity of what is around you. You are like blissfully merged into one. You are seeing things. And then it just blurs out for the moment. You're like, you're taking a breath and you're like, that's impersonalism for the moment. And we can't avoid it because impersonal realization is an aspect of God realization. Just when you get too hung up on it, then you become an impersonalist. Does that make sense? Right? A taste that you have. You taste a gulab jamun that is really, or whatever else that you like. And you go like, wow, you forget who made it. The next second you're going to remember who cooked the gulab jamun, who made the gulab jamun. But for the moment, it is just you and the taste, and you merge into that. Had that experience? Never had that experience? something really tasty, you're like, shh, nobody disturb me right now. Never had that experience? Oh, I mean,
Enjoy.
you've lost something. You've lost an experience in life if you've never had that. Really, I mean, these are momentary experiences in life that actually help you come closer to Krishna when you have knowledge about it. Otherwise, Krishna seems to be just a form on the altar. This is what Krishna says, Raso ham apsu kaunteya. I am the taste of water. Never had that blissful experience like sugarcane juice or something you had.
I think we have too many of these actually. Is what I'm trying to say that.
So that's what it is. It is too many, but they are just fleeting moments of it. The very next, once you've had that, the next moment is like, where will I get another glass of sugarcane? Is it over? You come back to the mode of being the enjoyer, but for the moment, you are merging with the taste. You're one with the taste. You're one with the experience. You're one with the happiness that you feel. That is what is bliss. That is what is peace. That is what is impersonal realization. A fraction of it we've had. Imagine that feeling that you had experienced when everything else was blurred out. Even your identity was blurred out. You were just a taste. That was all that was capturing your mind. Multiply that to infinity. Now you understand why the impersonalists feel so happy. And isn't it really considerate of us to say that actually their happiness is nothing? It's immense. Now try and imagine what would be pure devotional service when Rupa Goswami says, I chant one name of Krishna and I desire to have thousands of mouths. This dvaya, these two words, Krishna, they are so sweet. We can't, because we've never had an experience like that for years together practicing devotional service. We have had the impersonal kind of, but we've never had the personal kind of experience very deep. The personal kind of experience in pure devotional service, that which is Bhaktianand, born of bhakti, is where service is so predominantly powerful that one forgets one existence and merges oneself with the existence of the person that one is serving. It becomes so powerful that we do not look at ourselves. That is what Prahlad Maharaj describes. He says, Pratimukhasya. It is just as when you observe your reflection in the mirror, you decorate yourself, and your reflection gets decorated too. So you do not separately have to do that. The identity is not lost. The person being decorated and the reflection are two different identities. But there is no separation, because service is what engulfs us. We become one in service. So this is oneness in Krishna consciousness too. There is oneness in Krishna. Although we become very fearful of the word oneness, oneness is Krishna consciousness is where service is so predominant that that is our existence. That is all that we can see ourselves as servants. So is that all right? Any questions on this? On just 2 paragraphs?
So the third point mentions here, happiness derived from Krishna consciousness really means that you are completely immersed in service.
Completely immersed in service, yes.
That's where you will derive the happiness.
That's where. That is the happiness that is born of devotional service. Completely. Jivere Sharup hai Krishnera Nitya Das. Nitya Das. Eternally serving. Isn't that a very high aspiration? Yes. That is what has been offered to us in the acharyas. The happiness is intense. Rupa Goswami says, when I'm serving the holy names, thousands of mouths and millions of years. His expression is like that. Because the sweetness of Krishna's holy names is so great. As I said, remember those experiences where you're one with the Brahman aspect of Krishna. The taste of food, the smell, the fragrance of object, and you actually lost conception of who you are. You're just in the fragrance. That is the impersonal aspect. Now, when you can relate that to Krishna, that this wonderful fragrance is from the lotus feet of Krishna, like the Kumaras, when they had the fragrance of the tulasi leaves, they saw the tulasi leaves in connection with the lotus feet of Krishna. Service. Then from Brahman realization, they went to taste the happiness of devotional service.
So is this like a gradual process, or is this something that, so let's say one is doing that, but he's also aware that, let's say you get the fragrance of the flower and you really like the fragrance of the flower, you're lost in that, but you also remember at the same time that this fragrance is Krishna himself, because this Krishna is pervading everywhere, and then what I'm smelling is aspect of him. So is that like a...
That is what is impersonal realization.
Okay.
I am smelling the fragrance, that is Krishna, therefore I am important.
Okay.
Therefore I am one with Krishna. That is where the impersonalists, they want to merge completely with Krishna.
Okay.
And Krishna is in the form of the fragrance, so they want to merge with the fragrance, and the fragrance is all that exists, and therefore they merge with the one and they become the one.
Okay.
Hence, impersonal realization gives happiness. As we said, there is momentary experiences of that, fleeting experiences of that. The danger therein is we experience the fragrance. The happiness that a devotee, it seems from the scriptures, the experiences that is there from the scriptures, the appeals, serving Krishna is not that I am serving Krishna. It is Krishna is happy being served. Who's serving Krishna doesn't matter. It's a very, very esoteric and unique experience. So if it is a bees that are serving Krishna by, because Krishna's third canto describes that this beautiful garland of forest flowers on Krishna's chest, and the bees are humming because they are attracted to the flowers, but their humming sound is creating a kind of musical rhythm, and Krishna is very happy. So all these sounds in the forest stop. There's pin drop silence in the forest, so that the humming of the bees may go on, giving Krishna pleasure. Interesting, isn't it? Yes, anything else?
So we also desire thousands of mouths when we want to eat lots of gulab jamuns. And sometimes we also say that I wish I had more stomachs.
Yes, true. We make statements like that, but sometimes the reality is that we want more gulab jamuns to be in the same mouth rather than have more mouths, because for us, this mouth is the reality. Having more mouths is like a conception. It's an imagination.
Yeah.
So we make statements like that because we have read statements like that. We have become eloquent in expression through words. The conception does not really stay with us. That thousands of mouths. Why would I want that? Just one mouth with many gulab jamuns. If I have the capacity to do that, it would be wonderful, isn't it? You get the point?
Yeah.
Like everything should fit into this one stomach because that is who I am. But then we have to be eloquent, right? We have to be a little poetic. So we say we need thousands. If I had thousands of stomachs, we have absolutely no idea what happiness that would be.
Yeah.
But one stomach that could digest everything, that we can understand. So still, although we are saying thousands of mouths and thousands of stomachs, it's just one mouth and one stomach.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that experience kind of relate a little bit that why Rup Goswami is actually he is getting that same experience multiplied by millions of times, and that's why he's actually thinking like that. So when getting some experience of some taste buds being bombarded.
True. If it were like that, it would be very nice. Lord Shiva says he can enjoy or she can enjoy the happiness achieved by the pure devotees. So pure devotees experience that. Yes. So
I have a question. Sorry to interrupt. You said that the impersonal is when you experience this beautiful moment, the bliss and like the fragrance. So an impersonalist will want to merge with the fragrance, and so what does the personalist do as compared to the impersonalist? A personalist will also experience the fragrance, and then what is the difference? I mean, the difference is that he understands this is not the be all and end all. This is a part of Krishna's experience, or what is it? What exactly is the difference?
the personalist, the natural inclination of the acts is attractive, is immediately offered to Krishna. That's the default nature of the personalist. So a flower and its fragrance, and the personalist immediately offers it to Krishna within one's mind. If that is, that is the kind of ability that the personalist has. And there are many scriptural references that people have offered it in their mind, and Krishna has received it. Or a personalist would immediately make a deity form right there, like Prahlad Maharaj would make deity forms on the banks of the Yamuna and would offer items of worship to the deity. A personalist would immediately take out a picture of Krishna if we have that on a cell phone and put it right there and offer that flower to Krishna. A personalist would immediately pluck the flower if it is possible to do that and try to make a garland out of it.
Oh, I see.
These are some of the activities of the personalist that has been described in the scriptures. Today, we are trying to follow in the footsteps. Therefore, we are called as sadhakas. And there's a lot of mechanical endeavor in that. So we have to go out at a particular time into a garden and pick up and pluck flowers and pick flowers, and we bring in, and at a particular time of the day, we have to make a garland because it has to be offered to Krishna. A personalist would naturally, at any moment, whenever is affected by anything that is attractive, immediately at that moment offers it to Krishna. At that very moment, offers that to Krishna. And does it in different ways. It could be within the mind, it could be physical. Is that all right?
Yes, Prabhuji, that makes complete sense. Thank you so much.
Prabhuji, I have a question. So this may sound very silly also. So for example, I have cold, so I'm making some sira, and then I think, should I offer this sira also to Krishna or not? And I think Krishna doesn't have cold, so why should I offer sira to Krishna? And so I should just have it myself only. So then I end up having it myself.
It's very interesting that when you are having a health issue, then your family members do get affected by it. Let's say it is a communicable health problem, something that you can pass on to others. So the others also take care. They may also prophylactically, they may also adopt certain means by which their immunity stays strong. They may not take therapeutic means, but they may take the prophylaxis. Krishna in the deity form, when he is in the house, he is also the head of that house. He is the owner of that house. He is the head of that family. So obviously, Krishna will get affected too. And hence it is important to offer things to Krishna, even if it is a health issue. Alright?
See, I did not have the right understanding, so I asked because I thought कि सॉरी ये तो मतलब मुझे भी सोचना कि सर्दी जुकाम हो गया तो मुझे भी ऑफर कर रहा कि आप भी थोड़ा खाइए इसको तो आई थॉट कि maybe that is not appropriate, so I should only offer him like nice thing that I'm making, not something for my health. So.
Traditionally, according to Ayurvedic science, a medicine is only effective, and by only it means actually effective. It is first of all offered to Lord Hari. Yes. The other effects that we have is at the same time there are a lot of side effects. So disease may go away, but then the body suffers in different ways too. It is Lord Hari who actually, if he accepts us, that his potency cures the disease at the same time does not hurt the other living entity. That also needs some existence, isn't it? So the other living entity also gets benefited. The virus or the bacteria gets benefited too. So sarve sukhina bhavantu. Hence Ayurveda believes in mostly being, first of all, when it is being prepared, it is done with the remembrance of Lord Hari. That is the only way it's effective. You're welcome.
Prabhuji, if we are having allopathic medicine, should we offer that to Krishna?
Should we offer it to Krishna? Well, Krishna is very tolerant. So
I never
that
thought
is
of
all that-
offering medicines to Krishna.
Yes. Everything should be offered to Krishna, but you may not do it on the altar.
Okay.
You can offer it within the mind.
Yes.
Important to do that. Unfortunately, today's days and times, Krishna has to eat genetically modified food. He has to drink milk that is processed, and he may also have to accept allopathic medicines. So Krishna is a very practical gentleman. His business is to see that we can become purified and go back to him in the spiritual world. Is that all right?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you. Never thought of that before.
Yeah, Prabhuji, I have a question.
Yes, Satyata Prabhu.
Yeah, here we are all searching happiness in material plane, and as we all think feeling happy is the real happiness. But Lord Shiva says here that surrendering actually to the Lord is real happiness, comes from surrendering. We are talking everything, but that is what is not happening for me. We offer everything to Krishna. Is that means surrender?
Yes. Anything that we do, whatever we say, whatever we think, every activity, every thought should be with our natural inclination is that it should be used to serve Krishna. That is what we are training ourselves to do. We're training ourselves to such that we can naturally think about Krishna. It's like a soldier gets trained to reflexly, act during warfare. Similarly, we are getting trained up to do that. In any situation, we should be able to surrender ourselves. Surrender, obviously, surrender is, in the devotional concept, surrender means not just becoming dependent on Krishna. Surrender means to serve Krishna. We think that surrender only means to be totally dependent on Krishna. Krishna, here I am, now take care of me. That's secondary.
That's it.
Yes. Rakshashyatiti Vishwaso is an aspect of Sharanagati, is an aspect of surrender. It is secondary. The primary aspect of surrender is Krishna, I am yours to serve. The living entity gets happiness. That ananda, bliss, is when one serves Krishna. When the part and parcel serves the whole, that is perfection. Is that all right?
Yes, Prabhuji. So, is a surrendered soul, whatever he speaks, whatever he does, and whatever he thinks, all are in same platform. Means there is no variation.
That is what we are trying to achieve. We're trying to achieve a state of existence where whatever we think will be in service of Krishna, whatever we do is service to Krishna, and thought, words, and action. So, and whatever we speak, of Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hari Bol. Yes,
So we are talking about here the happiness, the pleasure.
Yes.
Again, the devotional service, I'm talking my experience. As you said, like for a personalist way of happiness, sometimes the situation is very nice, we will get some blissfulness. Similarly, when the chanting also, every day we do chanting, but only few days or few moments, only we will get the happiness. Sometimes say it's a Saturday morning, I don't have any extra work, house is clean or something. Mind is relaxed. So then you'll get some bliss on the day to chanting. But other days are different things, are different situation. We are not getting the bliss things.
Yes.
So how to, I don't know, so we say transcendental in devotional service also bliss. But the bliss is only momentary also in the devotional service for my experience. Sometimes, again, as you said, a relationship, we say relationship got disturbed. Then until it, for a few days, mind is so vigorous thinking about the situation or anything, it's difficult to chant also. Like mind is not, even though we're chanting, we are not experiencing any things. Is how to get that happiness all the time? Like how our mood should be there.
Oh, that is the ultimate goal. That is where one is spontaneously offering everything in the service of Krishna. That is called as Raga Bhakti or spontaneous devotional service. Now, spontaneous devotional service is even if one is, it is yat patram pushpam phalam toyam. Even if it is an insignificant object from the material standards, still we find that it can be, we want to use it for Krishna's service. That is spontaneous devotional service. Like the cowherd boys would want to offer a flower in Krishna's mouth as a samosa. That's spontaneous devotional service. That is called rag. Now, obviously, it is a pastime, and we find, kind of, this is a very nice relationship in friendship. Krishna's friends are putting flowers in his mouth, and Krishna is having this very awkward kind of look on his face. And okay, those are pastimes. But spontaneous devotional service means that. Now, if we are not able to comprehend that, if we do not experience that, then we should do regulated devotional service. We should follow the regulations that are there. So yad karoshi, yad ashnashi, whatever you eat, whatever you do, whatever charity you perform, whatever austerities you perform, everything should be offered to Krishna. That is regulated devotional service. So we cook, we offer it to Krishna. We work, we try to use that work in Krishna's service. We do charity, we donate to serve Krishna's purpose. Now, if regulated devotional service is also a little tedious, then at least one must try and live a life in the mode of goodness. So a life in the mode of goodness would mean immerse ourselves in scripture and try and not give in to the passions and ignorance that is there in this material world. The distractions that we We should try and not give in to it. No, I will not drink because that is my principle. I will not smoke because that is my principle. I will not read literature that will contaminate my mind. I will not see movies that will contaminate my mind. I will not I will not look at anyone in the mode of wanting to enjoy them. So that is what is niti. Matravat paradareshu, paradravyeshu lostravat, atmavat sarvabhuteshu, ye pashyati sa pandita. Looking at everyone as very respectable and not for one's enjoyment, seeing others' possessions as insignificant for us, not hankering for it ourselves, and considering every living being to be like oneself. And just as one wants to be happy, therefore one should let them be happy. That is a mode of goodness. At least that we should be able to practice. If you're not able to practice that, then at least we should perform some activities during the day that are in the mode of goodness. That could be feeding the poor, helping somebody cross the street, waiting for, stopping a car so there are certain norms that here in this country we see they have been established, or in many civilized societies they have been established, that we can do at least some. The concept is, from doing at least some good activity, you come to the platform of being in the mode of goodness. From being on the platform mode of goodness, you come to the platform of regulated devotional service. From the platform of regulated devotional service, you can come to spontaneous devotional service. Now, if you're not even able to do that, if you're not able to perform some good activities during the day, then at least think about it. At least have knowledge about it. Maybe you're physically disabled, you're not able to do anything much. Think, conceptualize. And if you're not able to, and meditate on it. So this is what Krishna explains in the 12th chapter. Is that all right, Panduranga?
Yes, Prabhu.
So Krishna is very practical, isn't he?
Yes, Prabhu. It's again, it's a progressive. Compared to last year, we might be improving, but again, as said, is that kind of spontaneous devotion. It might take, depending upon our efforts and Krishna's mercy, all those things.
Yes. So if you're not able to really think of Krishna when you're eating prasad, we call it honoring prasad. It's a very nice term to say that we are not eating, although we are eating it. So honoring prasad, when you're honoring prasad, the happiness that we may feel is jadanan, because it's just the food that is giving us happiness. So it's not spontaneous, it's kind of regulated, depends. Sometimes we may just have a pickle that is lying there, and we might just have got that from the market, from the stores, and we may not even have offered it. After it goes in the plate, we may think, okay, maybe we should offer it right now. And sometimes we may even forget that it has to be offered. Doing regulated devotional service, at least in the mode of goodness, so eat little pickle, not lot of it. Because a lot of pickle is in the mode of passion. So stay in the mode of goodness. Even if you are not able to do that, leave something for others, share it, feed the poor, feed those who need it. So at every step, some act should be performed that is purifying. There has to be sacrifice, yajna at every step. Is that all right? Is that example about food okay? Prashant? When Murari Gupta, he got the remnants, or that Brahmana who got the remnants of Nimai, when Nimai revealed himself, why are you shouting at me? You are calling me to accept bhoga, and now you are like kind of getting disturbed. I am the same. All of that on his body, wanting to feed every pore of his body, that prasad. Who amongst us would do that? That is called a spontaneous service. Just applying it on his eyes and on his ears and on his mouth. Let all these senses receive it. Try doing that in a drama, put up a drama like that with kids. It will be very interesting. And when Jagannath Mishra comes, he says, "Oh, sometimes I get not sure what is happening. What I do. I have a medical issue." So many times when we are honoring prasad, the happiness felt could be just Jadanand. Fortunately for us, Krishna is merciful. In that form, he is at least protecting us from our consciousness getting degraded. So Krishna in the form of prasad is purifying our inclination towards towards seeking happiness from material sense enjoyment is like a barrier. And therefore, years and years of eating prasad and still we find the mind being agitated more and more and more. There's Madhumangal that gets really excited when seeing laddus. That is spontaneous. And there are we who really get excited seeing laddus. Our excitement is how many laddus can I eat immediately so that
I can have more.
my desire for laddus is satisfied. And Madhumangal, he also eats in the same way, but he sees that Krishna is very happy with it. He sees that Krishna is very happy when I am expressing this desire to eat lot of laddus. We never see Krishna anywhere around us when we are having that laddus. Madhumangal is Bhaktyana. And our eating of laddus is Jadanand. We are fortunate that the laddus are offered. And therefore our consciousness does not get degraded much. Does not get contaminated much. It is like somebody who always carries an insulin injection with him or her and is very carefree. Let me eat as many sweets and then I can inject myself in the insulin. Do you think that person's health is going to improve? But at least it will not degrade for the moment. For some time at least there will be a status quo. Does that make sense?
I didn't get how Madhumangal eating is not like us.
Well, Madhumangal is saying that Krishna is pleased when he does that. We do not see Krishna anywhere around us like, well, after we know this now, tomorrow onwards, that is what we are going to do. We are going to eat laddus and think Krishna is happy. He must be somewhere seeing me. It's okay. Let me give you a practical example. Sometimes, for the pleasure of somebody in your family, you actually do it. Somebody is really very sick, and you know that if they see you being happy, they will feel happiness. And you come in front of them, and you have a lot of preparations, and you show them that you're okay with what is going to happen. We are ready for the departure of that person and things will go on, so you do not worry. Madhumangal does that every single day.
Jack. Make those sense.
It is for Krishna's happiness that he does that. Does that make sense? Okay. Can you stop here? Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Rupa Goswami
Jai.
Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Gaura Premanande.
Hari.
Hari.
Grace Mani Priya Prabhu ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavad pranam.
This is nice.